Hello everyone. Today is the fourth session of the chapter Basic Accounting Terms, Class 11th Accountancy. Now in today's session, we'll be discussing various terms like discount, trade discount, cash discount, discount allowed, discount received, etc. Hope you are going to enjoy the session. So let's begin. So first term, discount. When a customers are allowed any type of reduction in the price of the goods by the business, it is known as discount. See, whenever you see in the month of July, in the month of January, there is in every business outlet you can find these hangings. You can find these advertisement like sale 50% off, 70% discount. So that discount is nothing but the reduction in the price, that is the list price which is printed on the article of the good by the business, and that reduction in the price is termed as discount. Now discount is of two types: trade discount and cash discount. Let's learn the distinction between the two, trade discount and cash discount. Trade discount is a rebate allowed by the seller on the basis of sales, either quantity or value. ट्रेड डिस्काउंट बेटा एक ट्रेडर दूसरे ट्रेडर को ऑफर करता है जो कि सेम लाइन ऑफ बिजनेस पे होते हैं, और ये एक ट्रेडर दूसरे ट्रेडर को इसलिए ऑफर करता है बिकॉज दे आर परचेजिंग द गुड्स इन बल्क. क्वांटिटी में परचेज किया जाता है, बल्क परचेज होती है, और इसीलिए ट्रेड डिस्काउंट ऑफर होता है. सो we are going to record, see, whenever sales are going to take place, we are going to record the sales at net value, that is your sales minus trade discount. जो हमारे पास सेल वैल्यू होती है उसमें से हम ट्रेड डिस्काउंट को माइनस करते हैं, और ट्रेड डिस्काउंट को माइनस करने के बाद जो वैल्यू आती है दैट इज शोन इन अवर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट. और अगर हम परचेजेस की बात करते हैं तो परचेजेस आर ऑल्सो रिकॉर्डेड बाय द परचेजर एट द नेट वैल्यू, दैट इज परचेजेस लेस ट्रेड डिस्काउंट. परचेजेस में से ट्रेड डिस्काउंट को माइनस करने के बाद जो वैल्यू आती है उस वैल्यू को परचेजर अपने बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट में एज परचेजेस रिकॉर्ड करता है. सो बेसिकली ट्रेड डिस्काउंट इज अ डिस्काउंट गिवन फॉर बल्क परचेजेस by one trader to the other, that is from one trader to other who are dealing in same line of business, जिनका जो business है वो भी same होता है, they are dealing in same line of business. Also, trade discount is never shown in our books of account, and that is why you can see in point number 2 and 3 that sales are recorded at net of the value, that is after subtracting the trade discount from the sales. Similarly, purchases are also recorded at net of the value, that is after subtracting trade discount from the total purchases. On the other hand, cash discount, it is a rebate allowed for timely payment of due amount. Timely payment means जो भी आपको क्रेडिट पीरियड दिया हुआ है, या तो आपने ड्यू डेट जो आई थी उस पे आपने टाइमली पेमेंट कर दी, और टाइमली पेमेंट कुड बी पेमेंट एट द टाइम ऑफ परचेज और सेल इटसेल्फ, but the payment made at the time of purchase and payment received at the time of sale, तो ये भी मेरी टाइमली पेमेंट होती है. और अगर प्रॉम्प्ट पेमेंट हो रही होती है तब भी हम कैश डिस्काउंट को ऑफर करते हैं. ऑल्सो कैश डिस्काउंट इज ऑफर्ड when you are making the payment before the due date. ड्यू डेट आने से पहले ही अगर आपने पेमेंट कर दी है तब भी आपको कैश डिस्काउंट ऑफर होता है. It is an expense for the party allowing the discount, and that is termed as discount allowed. जो पार्टी डिस्काउंट दे रही है उसके लिए तो ये एक्सपेंस हो गया, और उसको हम टर्म करते हैं डिस्काउंट अलाउड. एंड इनकम फॉर द पार्टी रिसीविंग द कैश डिस्काउंट, and this is termed as discount received. Let us understand it with the help of this example. See, when debtor makes payment on or before the due date, then seller, that is the business, allows discount to the debtor and it's an expense for the business. See, there is an expense. The name of the firm is X Limited. It sold goods worth rupees 10,000 on credit to its debtor Robin on 1st April 2017. Credit period allowed is of 2 months. Now, Robin made a payment of rupees 9,900 to X Limited on 15th of May. See, the credit period allowed was 2 months. So the due date is 31st of May. But Robin is making early payment 15 days before. 15-16 days before, Robin is making early payment. So the business is allowing discount to the debtor for of rupees 100 for making early payment. Fine. So discount allowed by business to the debtor of rupees 100 for early payment, and business received the amount from the debtor on or before the due date, and discount allowed will be treated as an expense for the business, and this discount will be shown in the books of accounts. The next term is discount received. Now, when business makes payment to the creditor on or before the due date, then it receives cash discount, and this is going to be treated as income for the business. For example, X Limited purchased goods worth rupees 10,000 on credit from Sam. Sam is the creditor on 5th of April 2017. The credit period allowed is 3 months. So after 3 months, see, the purchase date is 5th of April. So after 3 months credit period, the due date is 5th of July. But Sam is receiving the payment of rupees 9,000 from X Limited on 5th of June. That means business is making early payment 1 month before. So the creditor is allowing discount to the business of rupees 1,000. See, we know that we have to prepare the books of accounts from the point of view of the business. जब भी हम बात करेंगे बेटा, तो हम बिजनेस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बात करेंगे. हम अपने जो बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स बनाते हैं वो भी बिजनेस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बनाते हैं. तो बिजनेस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से 1,000 rupees is the discount received by the business. सैम क्रेडिटर ने डिस्काउंट अलाउ किया है. फाइन. When business paid to the creditor on or before the due date in full settlement, so the discount is received by the business from the creditor of rupees 1,000 for the early payment made. तो business के books of account में जब हम record करेंगे, this will be discount received and it will be treated as income for the business. I hope both the terms discount allowed and discount received is clear to all of you. And also this discount received is also shown in our books of account. Like trade discount was not to be shown in the books of accounts, but discount allowed and discount received, they are cash discounts. So they are to be shown in our books of accounts of our business. Now let's discuss business entity concept. Each business has its identity separate from its owners. Fine. Each business has its identity separate from its owners means business की अपनी identity है और owners की अपनी identity है. In the last slide, I just explained that whenever we are going to prepare our books of accounts, we are going to prepare it from the point of view of the business, not from the point of view of the debtor, not from the point of view of the owner, not from the point of view of the creditor or any other party. So the business is an accounting entity. Financial statements report only the activities, resources means assets, and obligations means liability of that business. यानी कि हमने जो बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स बनाने हैं उसके अंदर हम सारी एक्टिविटीज, एसेट्स, लाइबिलिटीज बिजनेस की रिकॉर्ड करेंगे और किसी की नहीं. एंड दिस इज व्हाट बिजनेस एंटिटी कंसेप्ट सेज कि बिजनेस की आइडेंटिटी सेपरेट है, सेपरेट फ्रॉम इट्स ओनर्स. Let's discuss few examples to understand the business entity concept in more detail. Now see, the insurance premium for the owner's house should be excluded from the expenses of the business. क्योंकि अभी हमने क्या कहा कि बिजनेस की एंटिटी अलग है और ओनर की एंटिटी अलग है. जो हम फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स या बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स बनाएंगे वो बिजनेस के बनाएंगे, यानी कि हम बिजनेस के एक्सपेंसेस को रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, ओनर के पर्सनल एक्सपेंसेस हम उसके अंदर रिकॉर्ड नहीं करेंगे. तो अगर ओनर हैज गिवन इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम फॉर इंश्योरिंग हिज ओन हाउस, so this expenses is not to be included or to be shown in the books of accounts of the business. The owner's property should not be included in the premises account of the business. Premises account means building, यानी कि ओनर की जो पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी है, उसका जो पर्सनल रेजिडेंस है, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी इंक्लूडेड इन द प्रीमाइसेस अकाउंट ऑफ द बिजनेस. एनी पेमेंट फॉर द ओनर्स पर्सनल एक्सपेंस by the business will be treated as drawings and reduced the owner's capital contribution in the business. अगर ओनर ने अपने पर्सनल एक्सपेंसेस को मीट करने के लिए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल owner want to purchase one motorbike for his own personal purpose, और उसको खरीदने के लिए the owner has withdrawn money from the business, so that amount which is withdrawn by the owner for purchasing the motorbike for his personal use will be treated as drawings. और ड्राइंग से क्या होता है कि ओनर की कैपिटल बिजनेस में कम हो जाती है. So the next term is drawings. It is the amount withdrawn or goods taken by the proprietor, that is the owner of the business, for his personal use. अगर प्रोप्राइटर ने, ओनर ने कोई अमाउंट विड्रॉ करी है अपने पर्सनल यूज करने के लिए, या गुड्स जिसके अंदर बिजनेस डील कर रहा है वो ही उसने विड्रॉ करे हैं फॉर दी पर्सनल यूज, then it will be treated as drawings. For example, I am a furniture merchant. I want to buy a sofa set for my house. So definitely if I'm a furniture merchant, I'm not going to buy it from an outside vendor. मैं अपने business से ही sofa withdraw कर लूंगी. Then the cost price of that good will be treated as drawing for the business. और उतने amount से proprietor की, owner की capital business में कम हो जाएगी. This is what goods so taken by the proprietor are valued at the purchase cost. Purchase cost means कि जितने पे वो गुड्स बने हैं या खरीदे गए हैं. फाइन, हम अगर गुड बिजनेस से विड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू चार्ज इट एट अ सेलिंग प्राइस. ओनर कभी भी सेलिंग प्राइस पे उसको नहीं लेगा. ओनर जब भी विड्रॉ करेगा तो उसको, वो तो अपनी कॉस्ट प्राइस पे उसको विड्रॉ करेगा बिजनेस से. And drawings are going to reduce the capital of the owners. So in nutshell, अगर हम drawings करते हैं business में से, either in the form of cash or in the form of goods, that is going to reduce the capital of the owner in the business. Now let's take a case. Let's understand few more terms. Let's say that we are a manufacturing business. So production process in a manufacturing business, how does it take place? We purchase a raw material. ठीक है, जब प्रोडक्शन, हमारी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंसर्न है तो हम प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए रॉ मटेरियल परचेज करते हैं. नाउ इफ द रॉ मटेरियल इज परचेज्ड एंड कंज्यूम ड्यूरिंग अ ईयर, हमने परचेज किया और उसको कंज्यूम कर लिया. कंज्यूम करने का मतलब उसको हमने कन्वर्ट कर दिया फिनिश गुड्स में और उसको सेल भी कर दिया होगा, या हमने सिर्फ उसको कन्वर्ट कर दिया फिनिश गुड्स में. सो दैट पार्ट ऑफ परचेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल विल बी टर्म्ड एज परचेजेस. उसको हम परचेजेस कहते हैं और परचेजेस बिजनेस के लिए एक्सपेंस होता है. परचेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल जो कि हमने परचेज करके कंज्यूम कर लिया. कंज्यूम किस लिए कर लिया? टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू फिनिश गुड्स. तो उस पार्ट को हम परचेजेस कहते हैं एंड सच परचेजेस आर टर्म्ड एज एन एक्सपेंस फॉर द बिजनेस. अब ऐसा तो है नहीं बेटा कि हमें जितने रॉ मटेरियल की जरूरत होती है उतना ही परचेज करते हैं. वी बाय समथिंग एक्स्ट्रा ऑल्सो. And at the end of the financial year, there must be some raw material which lie in our warehouse. So unused raw material lying in the warehouse, warehouse means storehouse, at the end of the financial year will be termed as stock. और stock जो होता है, stock क्योंकि बचा रह गया at the end of the financial year and is going to be used in the next financial year. So this closing stock will become an opening stock for the next financial year, जिसका benefit मुझे आगे मिलेगा. So stock is an asset for the business. अब क्या होता है, आपने परचेज किया रॉ मटेरियल को, देन उसको प्रोसेस करने के लिए डाल दिया. At the end of the financial year, definitely there is some stock of semi finished goods. सेमी फिनिश गुड्स का मतलब क्या हुआ कि वो गुड्स अभी पूरी तरीके से तैयार नहीं है. मे बी द गुड्स आर 80% ready or 70% ready. That means some more work needs to be done on those goods. So semi finished goods lying in the warehouse at the end of the financial year again will be termed as stock. क्यों स्टॉक? क्योंकि ये नेक्स्ट ईयर में फिनिश गुड्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे, फिर मैं इनको सेल कर दूंगी, देन आई एम गोइंग टू गेट बेनिफिट इन फ्यूचर. सो दैट विल बी टर्म्ड एज स्टॉक. नाउ आफ्टर दिस, when these semi-finished goods are being converted into finished goods, so obviously in a manufacturing business we are going to have an inventory of finished goods also. So that part of finished goods which is sold during the year, that is termed as sales, and sales are going to generate the receipts. So sales are our income. Because these are the finished goods which are sold, and we have recovered the amount or we are going to recover the amount in future. So that part of finished goods which are sold during the year are termed as sales, and sale is our income. But again, हम सिर्फ उतना ही तो नहीं बनाते जितना हम सेल कर लेते हैं. फिनिश गुड्स आर ऑल्सो लाइंग इन आर वेयर हाउस. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि हमने ज्यादा मैन्युफैक्चर करके रखा हुआ है, एंड फ्यू फिनिश गुड्स आर लाइंग इन द वेयर हाउस एट द एंड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल ईयर which will be used for selling purpose or which will be sold in the next financial year. So this part of finished goods which are lying in our warehouse again is termed as stock. So stock, what is stock? Stock is a tangible asset. Obviously we can see, we can touch the stock. So it's a tangible asset held by an enterprise for the purpose of sale in the ordinary course of business. This we are talking about stock of finished goods, or for the purpose of using it in the production of goods meant for resale. Using it for the production of goods, that means here we are talking about the stock of raw material or stock of semi-finished goods. Purchases are the next term. The term purchases is associated with or used for purchase of goods. Goods are article purchased for resale or for producing the finished products which are also to be sold. So the term purchases include both cash and credit purchases of goods, which we have already discussed in our previous sessions. Goods purchased for cash are termed as cash purchases, and goods purchased on credit are termed as credit purchases. There is another term associated with it is purchase return. अब बेटा कई बार ये क्या हुआ, हमने कोई गुड्स खरीदे, they are not as per the specification जो हमने order दिया था, या some of the goods are defective which we have purchased, so definitely we are going to return them back to the creditor, and that will be termed as purchase return or returns outward. That is, goods purchased may be returned due to any reason, say they are not as per specification or are defective. So goods returned are known as purchase return or return outward. Next term, sales. The term sales is associated with or used for sale of goods that are dealt with by the firm. मतलब वो goods जो हम produce कर रहे हैं, जिनके अंदर हम deal कर रहे हैं, अगर हम उनको market में sell करते हैं, तो that is termed as sales. And the term sales include both cash and credit sales. This also concept we have discussed in the previous sessions. When goods are sold for cash, they are termed as cash sales, and when goods are sold on credit, they are termed as credit sales. Credit का मतलब हमने उधार पे sell किए हैं. So obviously we have learned this term also previously. When we sell the goods on credit, then debtors will come in our books of accounts. Now, when goods sold are returned by the purchaser or the debtor, it is termed as sales return or return inward. The reason could be the same. We have sold the goods, that maybe they were defective. By chance, by error हो गया हमसे और गलती से defective goods चले गए, and or the goods which are sold, they are not as per the specification. So those goods which are not as per the specification, when they are returned back, they are termed as sales return. When we are receiving the goods back, they are termed as sales return. But when we are returning the goods which we have purchased and they were not as per the specification, that is termed as purchase return. That's all for today in the 4th session. We'll be coming with few more terms in the next session, that is 5th session. That will be our last session of this chapter. I hope all the terms we have discussed so far is clear to all of you. Thank you all. Thank you very much.